Hey guys, welcome back to the shop for another week of Saturday Night Special. So this week we've got a bunch of shaper footage for you. I've got a big chunk of steel that I had to machine a hydraulic head plate out of, and I decided to bring that piece home and get some more practice cuts in my shaper. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna get it shaped in, cutting some steel, some flame cut steel. And then after I did that, I took it back to work and I used the lathes and the mills down there, and we finished that out. So I've got some videos of machining the entire thing and getting it completed there as well. So we'll have all that in this episode for you, and look forward to sharing that. I've also got a really cool viewer gift that's come in, another handmade viewer gift that is something that it's going to be a tool for me to use around here, something that I had planned out. So I got some video of that. We're gonna check that out as well. All right, and then I got two more books I'm going to give away. I'm going to go ahead and do two of them this week, kind of in the spirit of Christmas, you know, giving them away. And I've got a 13th edition handbook right here, and then a 15th edition. These are also two books that come from Mike Ray. He had sent me a box of these things, so we're going to go ahead and knock out two of these this week. So I'm up to 1,367 entries now into the handbook giveaway. The first one is Jim Nolan from Seattle, Washington. He's the recipient of one of these, and favorite content, he says, he likes it all. Great job, Adam. That's just what he put. All right, so congratulations, Jim Nolan, and we'll get one of these to you. Our second winner is Walter Waller from Springfield, Missouri, and his favorite content is anything intricate, and something he'd like to see more of, more content, is full-length turning on the lathe. So Walter, hopefully you've been watching the electric motor shaft videos, because there was a lot of lathe turning there. So anyway, guys, I'll get these things boxed up and sent out to you within the next week or so, and congratulations on that. So let's go ahead and check out our viewer mail. I have got not only a handmade gift, but a really cool handmade tool. I contacted JP over at Maker's Mark Branding and told him that I was interested in one of his branding irons. So he fixed me up. Let's look at the box. That is his business there, Maker's Mark Branding. You can find him over at Instagram. And he sent a nice letter there to go along with it. Merry Christmas. Got some Smith's leather balm there. And we got the two branding irons that he made. So I requested one, and he actually made two. So there's the size difference. I believe you have a 2-inch and a 3-inch. How cool is that, man? Those are the little test samples right there. Look at the box. Look how elegant it is. Oh, we got a little button in here too. Cool button there. And then here's the branding iron. Look at that, man. How cool is that? Abby better watch out. She might get a stamp. And then here's the smaller, the 2-inch size. I just think that is cool. I've been wanting something like this for a while now, and I've been following JP on his Instagram for some time, and it does excellent work, as you can see right here. Even the handles has a hallmark engraved in it. Very nice work. I want to get these things hotted up and brand something, so let's test them out. Thank you very much, JP. I really appreciate this. You went way beyond what I ever expected. You know, I had asked him about making me one of these, and he he made two. And then look at the box, man. I mean, that's really cool right there. There's our first one. I want to give a big thanks to all of my new PayPal supporters out there. I had quite a few of you guys chip in $1 last week after I talked about the new feature, and I really appreciate that. And it's really going to help me out around here in the shop. You know, we'll be able to put those funds to use for mailing, for these kind of books like this and other things that we need around the shop right here. So thank you very much. If you happen to miss that, I added a new feature for PayPal. It's at the top right corner of the home page. There's a link there. You can click on it, and it allows you to make a monetary donation to the shop. And there's also a thing that you can click if you choose to, where you could do it a monthly contribution as well. I had a lot of people that are not happy with Patreon, or they simply don't want to sign up on that platform and use Patreon. And I've had a lot of people asking me, is there another way that they can contribute to the shop? So I figured out that PayPal thing, and I've got that. So it's another easy way that you can help out around here, is through the PayPal or the Patreon, or the link there for the t-shirts as well, So got t-shirts there available, and thank you guys very much. It's very meaningful to see all the help out there that's coming through. I really appreciate it. All right, so I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Probably see you again after Christmas, and I already have some more machining content that's in the works for next weekend. We're gonna do some more shaper work, and we're gonna be working on another internal keyway, but it's a little bit different than the first one. So I think you guys are gonna enjoy that. I'm looking forward to sharing that, and I got some more projects that's already in the works out here. So I'm trying to keep the fun and creative content coming to you. Cool new project to work on tonight. Got us a nice 3-inch thick block of steel that was flame cut. Real nice job on the flame cut right there. And we got us a shaper job. So this is going to be a hydraulic cylinder end that I'm making at work, but I wanted to bring it home and do the squaring up on the shaper. I'm always looking for a good excuse to use my shaper because I like to practice, and I like that it's just a fun operation to do. So that's what we're going to work on. It's got a finish at 7.5 inches. I believe it's somewhere around 7 and 7/8 right now. So so that measures 7.82. We're going to take it to 7.5, and it's not a super critical dimension usually on these heads like that, but we'll shoot for a 7.5. So we got a little over 300 thousandths to take off of it. I don't know how square it is, but we're going to get a little practice in. So I'll meet you over at the shaper. Although it's not really necessary for this job, we're going to go ahead and square up our jaw. It's something like we're doing right now. You're not really worried about too much of a perfectly square vice jaw, but it's good practice anyway. I rotate it around to the 0 mark on the swivel base here. It looks like within that stroke right there, which is set at 8 inches, we got about 8 or 9. Over here tapping away from the indicator. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and tighten the vise down there. So I've picked out what I think is the cleanest cut of all 4 sides. This one right here. So this is the side that we're going to flip down into the vise. And get it down in here, and I'll start getting the stroke set up. I have to drop it down. Yeah, we're still way too high. So make it rapid it down some. Now this is the tool I like to use, but because of the height of the workpiece here, it's getting pretty close. I've still got probably 2 to 3 inches that I can lower it down, but it's still going to be pretty close. I think what I'm going to do for this job instead, since we haven't done it in a while, I've got my piece of 1-inch Momax right here, and I need to put a fresh grind on the end of it, reduce some of that radius there. I think we'll use this 1-inch tool. I've got my spacer block I'll put in there, and we'll use this guy right here to cut it. I always like using my earplugs whenever I grind, any kind of grind really. Usually whenever I grind tool bits, I like to move the tool bit across the wheel to kind of give it even wear and even build up on the face. Got that top edge a little bit. All right, we'll give that a shot. All right, we got our tool set in there. We got everything ready to go. I'm going to touch off, and we're going to take a 1/8 depth of cut. I've got it set at 41 strokes a minute. Now, doing the math with the proper feed, we should be running about 70 to be efficient. But like I said before, I don't like to run it that fast. So we're going to try 41 with a 30,000th step over and see how it reacts, okay? All right. There's our touch off right there. I don't want to rub it too much. Got our collar set to 0. That's 50, 100, and we're going to go 10, 20, let's go 24. All right, we're going to lock back out our backlash. So that's the result of our 1/8 depth of cut with a 30,000 step over. And I'm making one side to start with. So what we're going to do now is back off on our cut. We're just going to take a real light depth of cut and slow our feed rate down, and we'll do some lubricant on there also and see if we can get a nice finish with that tool there. I've been wanting to try some of this anchor lube on shaper cut, so we're going to give it a try for this one right here. I'm just going to put a little on there and then brush it around. This is a 20 thousandth step over feed rate. I only went down about 6 thousandths on the depth. All right, so there's our finish right there on the last cut we just took, and although it's not bad, it's a little bit more rough than I want it to be. So I believe what I need to do is put a little bit more radius on that tool, and I'm going to try it again. Another very light cut with a short step over. This is why I like these kind of practice jobs, is it's allowing me to practice my cuts and my tool grinds and my hones to see what's working better. So on this one here, what I did is I went ahead and retouched the tool on the grinder, and I re-honed it slightly larger radius than I did before. The edge, I could tell the edge had a little wear, probably from touching off on that flame cut edge at the very beginning. So, and then obviously I'm using cutting oil this time. I think the cutting oil is going to do a better job of lubricating the cut versus that anchor lube. So we'll see. Let's make this pass across there and we'll check it. So there's our finished cut for the first side. It did much better that time. It has a nice smooth feel to it. And I'm not trying to use a shear tool or any other kind of tool, but I want to actually be able to rough it and finish it with that tool on something like this. So we'll give it a little wipe there with the rag. I like it. So that was about, what did I take right there? So that was either, I can't remember, I was either 4 or 6 thousand steps to cut, and our 20 thousand step over right there with cutting oil. Okay, so clean this off, file it. I'm going to flip it over 180, and we're going to do the other side and finish it to our 7.5 inch width there. All right, we got it cleaned up. I'm just getting an initial measurement to see about what we're going to have to take. So somewhere around 160. Now what I'm going to be using to measure the width of this, we're going to use a depth mic. We'll put it right here and measure down to the bed of the vise. 10, 20, we'll make it even. 130. All right, this last heavy cut I just took, I did it for a little live video, so I might have missed it on the GoPro there. There's some of the chips there that's peeling off. So let's go ahead and see if we can make like a semi-finishing cut. Looks like we got about 55, maybe about 57 thousandths to go. So we'll split it. We'll do like a 30 and 30. So I'm gonna drop it down. Let's look at this tool. Tool still feels like it's got a really good edge on it. So we'll do a 30 thou with oil, inspect it, and then we'll finish it out and do another finish cut. All right, we got 22 thousandths according to this. All right, so we're working on our finished cut there. It's looking really good. I'll measure it out at the end and see where we hit our mark, file it, and then we'll flip it and start on the other two sides. All right, this was our finished cut on the second side there. Measure the width here, or the depth, whatever you want to call it. It looks like we hit our mark. 7.5 inches exactly. All right, we've got our block sitting in there. I've got this edge kind of sitting down on this side of the vise here. So we're going to use our Starrett machinist square, and I want to check this. And I can definitely tell that it's off a little. We're touching up at the top. So let me, I want to make sure that I don't have the vise too tight, just snugged up. So let's see if I can get in there around you. I'm trying to watch that line through there. And I've gone too far. There it is right there. All right, looks like we got it right where we need it. So, see that light disappear through that square? All right, I'm going to tighten the vise up really good. And we're going to call that square enough. So I decided just to take a finished cut over here, slow the feed rate down, took a 30,000th depth to cut, and I'll finish the other side to the proper length. All right, we're on our last side now. What I'm going to do is make sure that it's set right in the proper position. Kind of missed it there. Yeah, I think that'll work pretty good right there. Okay, last side. There we go.